Welcome back, everyone, to another edition of Seahawk Central News, the top source for UNCW's campus news, entertainment, and sports. I'm Janae Randall.
And I'm Sarah Lively. With fall in full swing, make sure to stay tuned to Seahawk Central News, available 24/7 online at youtube.com/TLTV2010.
This week, you will be given a look at what Front Street Brewery is doing to lower violence in the downtown Wilmington area. You will also get a behind-the-scenes look at a local haunted house here in town.
We will also catch you up on sports with Ben Tyson and the rest of the Seahawk sports staff, along with the latest movie reviews with Chris Vickery.
Seahawk Central News starts right now.
Each November, the Cucaloris Film Festival is held in downtown Wilmington. Cucaloris is a non-competitive festival focused on supporting innovative artists and encouraging creative exchange with 150 film screening. The Cucaloris Film Festival will be held November 10th through 13th this year. Unfortunately, summer fundraising efforts have fallen $17,000 short, and organizers are still trying to raise these funds. For more information about the festival, donating, or getting film tickets, please visit www.cucaloris.org.
The Wilmington Railroad Museum gives Wilmington citizens one more reason to be proud of the city they live in. After breaking the Guinness World Record for the world's longest model train back in April, the city of Wilmington officially recognized the museum's record-breaking event during a city council meeting on Tuesday evening, October 18th. Wilmington Mayor Bill Saffo presented the model railroaders with a special certificate at the meeting. I had the chance to speak with Mark Koenig, Executive Director of the Wilmington Railroad Museum, who says he is very excited Wilmington is now home to such a record and appreciates all the community's support.
Now let's go outside and see what's up with Rachel Nagel on this week's Talk on the Walk. Rachel?
Welcome to a ghoulish episode of Talk on the Walk. I'm out here asking my fellow students what they'll be doing this Halloween, whether they're dressing up and going out or staying in. Let's hear what they have to say.
This Halloween, I'm going to Greenville, North Carolina at ECU. I'm going to be a lacrosse player because I don't want to pay for a costume.
I'm running a Halloween 5K at Mayfair on the 30th, and I'm planning to dress up like LMFAO.
This Halloween, my plans are to study because I have a 10-page paper due and 2 exams on November 1st.
This Halloween, my plans are we're going to Franklin Street, and then me and 2 of my buddies, we're going to be the 3 Musketeers.
My plans for Halloween are to dress up as SpongeBob SquarePants. Other than that, just enjoy my Halloween and be safe too.
Ever since I was born, Halloween's also been my birthday other than just being a holiday, so I don't know, I've always had a party and then gone trick-or-treating, and I'm probably going to do the same this year.
Alright, so this Halloween I'm going to Franklin Street for the first time. I'm from Illinois, so I heard it's a big deal. I'm hoping to dress up as a roller skater. I got some Sonic skates that say Sonic on it. I'm pretty excited, and hopefully it'll be a good time.
It seems as though Franklin Street and ECU are very popular destinations for people who want to celebrate Halloween. Whether you're being a witchy woman, a pro athlete, or a fictitious character, remember to be safe and responsible this Halloween. I'm Rachel Nagel for Seahawk Central News, Teal TV.
Come check out the Connect 2011 networking event Thursday, October 26th from 6 to 8 p.m. in the Bernie Center. Connect 2011 is no regular job fair. Instead of seeking out employers and handing out resumes, this will be a professional networking event where recruiters are available to meet and talk to you. The ticket price is $10 for an evening complete with food, beverages, and endless networking opportunities. For more information and a complete list of companies attending, log on to www.myseawork.com or call 910-962-3174.
Chancellor Gary Miller discussed his continuing vision for UNCW during a media luncheon held on Tuesday. The luncheon, held in the Golden Hawk Room, offered attendees from various media outlets the chance to question the Chancellor over his idea of creating a climate of innovation. The Chancellor, accompanied by his Chief of Staff, Max Allen, noted the rising concerns among the UNCW community over budget cuts. Miller stated, "The welfare of the people who work here is one that concerns me the most." Miller included in his discussion different department consolidations the university is considering to implement as a result of such cuts. Miller slightly touched on the impact of the university's current economic state in relation to its master plan. Overall, the chancellor seemed pleased with the university's progress, but acknowledged there is still plenty of work to be done.
If you have been driving in and around the Wilmington area lately, you have been sure to see the advertisements for the Panic Attack Haunted House. After sparking our curiosity, we sent reporter Emily Manning to check out what it was like, and she was granted a very special interview.
Every year, just for Halloween, Anthony Long and Company put on Panic Attack, the largest Halloween attraction in Wilmington, North Carolina. We were able to speak with Anthony Long today and tour some of his attractions.
We've been going for about 10 years. Panic Attack's actually been going for 2 years, but the past years other than that, we were actually in a small town called Nakana on the outskirts of Whiteville. And we started off as a agricultural event there. We had a hay ride down to the woods. You got off, went through the woods, bunch of Walmart stuff. And it just grew every year to what it is now. So that's where it came from. We start in March. We go to a big trade show every year in March, gearing up for the season, finding out what we want to get that's new, finding out our new attractions in this section. And then we actually start building throughout the summer and just changing out. This year we took on a big task. We actually got the whole new building that's behind us here. I think we had 11,000 square feet this year, so we got about 20,000 in this building. This guy here, he's in my drum room, what we call the drum room. It's 55-gallon drums. They actually tip over, they move, they fall on you, and he's in there to scare you around the corners, and he actually works the queue line a little bit too. And then this guy over here, he's actually in the bathroom scene, right? We have a whole bathroom scene, and he works in that. So those are those two masks.
I'm Emily Manning, reporting for Teal TV. Back to you.
UNCW's business faculty members announced positive news for Wilmington's economy. On Tuesday, October 11th, faculty economists at the university's 8th annual Economic Outlook Conference predicted Wilmington's economic growth will surpass both the state and the nation in the upcoming year. Professors William Hall and Ravija Badarananthy collaborated together at the EOC to make predictions in various areas of economic growth. I contacted Professor Hall, who would like to note that the local economic activity is stabilizing. He states that a best-case scenario is that the unemployment rate remains stable through the end of 2012, since the growth isn't sufficient to bring down the rate.
Front Street Brewery, located downtown, is doing something to stop crime that has been occurring downtown recently. They have hired an organization to help stop late-night violence in and around their business. Travis Sullivan brings us the story.
Front Street Brewery is one of the popular hangout spots in downtown Wilmington, but the area has been seeing a lot of violence recently. The owner of the Front Street Brewery, Tom Harris, and Raymond Bates, the leader of an organization set out to stop the violence, are doing their part. I'm here with Tom Harris, the owner of Front Street Brewery, who's noticed a peak in violence downtown and is trying to do something about it. Mr. Harris, what was it that you've noticed around town that's messing up the atmosphere around here and kind of hurting your business?
Well, it's really the late night stuff, typically the stuff that happens just after 2 a.m. That's our main concern, and it was really kind of giving all of downtown a black eye, where a lot of people were feeling like it was unsafe to come downtown after dark, when the reality is downtown is pretty doggone safe until probably around 1:30, 1:45 a.m. in the morning.
Okay, were there any particular events like with Front Street Brewery that made you feel like you should do something about it, or was it just kind of noticing the violence picking up over a long period of time?
Well, it's really not so much that it picked up, it was a long-standing problem that really wasn't being addressed until this calendar year by WPD in a serious manner. They have gotten much more serious in 2011, and we're thankful for that.
I'm here with Raymond Bates, the president of the Knott Foundation. Raymond, how did you get involved with Tom, and how did you get involved with this Knott Foundation?
Back in May, Tom Harris had read an article on me that Star News had done on me about the Knott Foundation and what we do in the community to stop help violence and stop at-risk youth and try to help out with the violent crimes. So my background is what I think that really sparked him, because I was a former gang member myself, and I used to get in trouble myself. So when I started this Knott Foundation back in 2007, it was all about trying to reach the community and reach the at-risk youth and adults out here that's committing the same crimes.
And what's the plan that the Knott Foundation has to try to cut down the violence here downtown?
Well, my goal is, when I first started this, is to work with the police and the sheriff. I had a meeting with Mayor Sappho, District Attorney Ben David, Sheriff McMahon. I had a meeting with those guys, and I let them know that we need to not just sit behind these desks, but we need to actually come out and get more involved with the community. I think that if we can get our security to be trained properly, to know how to be bouncers, and then we can get our bartenders to know exactly when to cut off these persons that's drinking too much. And I think that'll start, eliminate some of these problems, because you won't have all these overly drunk college kids, overly drunk Marines and patrons out here.
It's nice to hear that business owners and citizens of downtown Wilmington are stepping up to stop the violence. Hopefully the work that they're doing will help to make the atmosphere more friendly and bring the business by the Cape Fear back to its former glory. I'm Travis Sullivan with Seahawk Central News, Teal TV.
Now it's time to see what's new this week in sports. So let's head over to the sports desk with Ben Tyson. Ben?
Thanks, Janae. In honor of the Molly Maid Foundation, UNCW Athletics honored the cause of Breast Cancer Awareness Month by urging the fans to wear pink at all games this weekend. We here at the Seahawk Central Sports Department support this cause and would also like to wish a happy belated birthday to swimming and diving head coach Dave Allen, who celebrated with a Seahawks sweep of Gardner-Webb this past Saturday. The 152 to 102 point final for the men's team and a 141.5 to 112.5 victory for the Lady Aquahawks was the icing on the cake. Honorable mentions go to Anna Munger, who closed steadily in the 50 and 100 freestyle, setting a new personal record in the 100 free at 52.14 seconds, and Mike Smijakowski, who took command of the 1,000 free, practically treading through clear waters before clocking in with a final time of 9 minutes and 47.55 seconds. The Seahawks end their 9-meet homestand on Saturday, October 22nd, hosting Emory. Switching sports, the UNCW volleyball team took to the road playing Northeastern on October 7th. Though sophomore Christy Late recorded a match-high 15 kills, it was not enough for the Seahawks fell 3-1. The road took a turn for the better as the girls notched two impressive come-from-behind victories against Hofstra and the Citadel. Unfortunately, the momentum from these wins did not translate into their home match this past Saturday against Georgia State. This was the second time the Lady Hawks have faced the Panthers this season, falling once more in a sweep reminiscent of the season opener. We caught up with Coach Bambanek after the game.
I wish we could have had a little bit more fight in us. It's always, tough to lose to a good conference opponent. But our girls worked played their hardest, and I think that they did all that they could do today.
The Seahawks now stand at 9-4 in season and 2-4 in conference play. The club softball team has been newly inducted into the National Club Softball Association, a conference including the club teams of the Universities of North Carolina State, Duke, Chapel Hill, Campbell, ECU, and Winthrop. Outfitted in new uniforms, the teams hosted ECU in their first home series of the season. The Lady Hawks, shaken up in the first game, battled back in the second and third, but ultimately fell to the Pirates. The club team travels to ECU for the Purple Haze tournament this Saturday, October 22nd. They will host another home series against North Carolina State on the 29th. But that's not all the club sports action we have this week. Let's get out to our reporter Travis Sullivan, who attended the season opener for the UNCW club hockey team this past Friday.
Travis Sullivan here at the Wilmington Ice House to check out the UNCW Seahawks club hockey team, or as I like to call them, the Ice Hawks. Yes, I'm talking about ice hockey, folks. Tonight they're going to take on the Loyola University Greyhounds out of Maryland. Let's get to the game footage. Marty Previtt for the UNCW squad gets a break on the goal, takes the shot, but it's saved by the Loyola goalie. Previtt again is going to be coming down here and gets slammed into the glass by the Loyola defender. Things getting a little chippy at this point. And Garrett Riley with one more look at the goal, but it goes just over the crossbar. Loyola was able to get 2 goals early, and here in the third period get one more to stretch the lead. I was able to interview Coach Brian Hateman afterwards. How long has UNCW had an ice hockey team?
This is the 6th year of the program. So we've been out here at the Ice House for 6 years now.
Now, Coach, I know today didn't go as planned. We would like to get the W today, but what can you guys do better in the next game to get a win?
Well, I think it's simple. We need to want it a little bit more, a little more heart, a little more desire, a little more effort, and those little battles that are all over the ice, those make a big difference, and we need to start winning some more of those tomorrow.
Unfortunately, the UNCW ice hockey team was not able to get a win tonight against the Loyola Greyhounds. They fell 3-0 due to some slight misfires by UNCW players and some great saves by the Greyhound goalie. But I think it's safe to say that in the future you could expect some exciting games from the Seahawk ice hockey team, which I look forward to seeing. I'm Travis Sullivan with Seahawk Central News, Teal TV.
The UNCW basketball team gears up for their 2011-12 seasons, debuting for the first time on Media Day last Wednesday and Thursday. And on Friday, October 14th, the teams made their exciting premiere to the public at Trask Coliseum in front of thousands of screaming Seahawk fans.
Hello, this is Ariel Lappard reporting from Hoggard Lawn, where the anticipation for the kickoff of basketball season has been unleashed. From the Trek to Trask to Midnight Madness to Fan Jam, the energy out here is just so exciting. This evening's events included a men's and women's three-point shooting contest and a men's slam dunk competition. There were also special performances by the UNCW dance team, physical graffiti, and the cheerleaders. The build-up to tonight was promoted by a series of events, from ice cream with the athletes to, more importantly, Media Day with the men's and women's basketball team. We were able to talk to both Coach Cooper Dyke and Coach Peterson, as well as the new recruits and the seasoned athletes. Here's the scoop to what to look forward to this season.
We just want to play fun basketball that win games. We didn't come in with a starting lineup. What we did was we have our players earn their starting spots. What we wanted to do was get people in here that could score, that knows how to win. They know how to win. And we want to bring that winning mentality to UNCW.
And the thing I'm looking for them is to stay positive, be good listeners, work extremely hard, and just keep and get better and better as time goes on.
Mark your calendars for the first men's home game is on October 29th against St. Andrews. For the Lady Hawks, save the date for November 2nd, where they will play Johnson C. Smith. I'll see you at the games. Till then, this is Ariel Lappard with Seahawk Central News, Teal TV.
On to soccer, where the women's soccer team played 2 games at home this past weekend. First, on Friday, the Seahawks welcomed the George Mason Patriots to the Seahawks Soccer Stadium with unimpressive results. Sophomore Nicole Clark scored for George Mason in the 9th minute for a 1-0 lead. The Seahawk ladies kept it close until the 41st minute when Chrissy Parker struck one off the arm and passed UNCW keeper Caitlin Hunter. Seahawk fans in attendance held their breath late in the contest, hoping for a miracle until Zoe Doherty scored a 3rd goal for George Mason in the 90th minute. Final score, GMU 3, UNCW 0. Seahawks followed that up with a 1-0 loss in overtime to the Towson Tigers on Sunday. The Seahawks lost the heartbreaker in the 93rd minute and fall to 2-13 on the season and 0-7 in league play. There's also a scheduling note for women's soccer. Next weekend's game against Georgia State has been moved from Saturday, October 28th to Sunday the 29th to accommodate a road game that was rain delayed earlier in the year against Delaware. So mark your calendars accordingly. The men's soccer team also came home after losing 3 straight road conference matches to James Madison, Old Dominion, and Georgia State. They came back to face off against the Northeastern Wildcats Saturday at Seahawks Soccer Stadium. Let's get to the highlights.
Early in the first half, Jack Ward gets the pass but is tripped up in a bit of a chippy play by number 9 for Northeastern. Then on the set piece, Daniel Roberts hits it in off the keeper's hands. Thomas Driver once, twice, just a bit outside, and he knows it. Then Jack Ward moving down the field has the shot, and it is good, making it 1-0 UNCW towards 2nd goal of the season. We would move on. Brandon Miller, the UNCW keeper here. Looks like it's going to be an empty goal, but Miller coming through, making the save. Then on the set piece, Miller, the fantastic save there, but he would not save everything. As you can see, Northeastern was able to slide one past. Here we can watch it again in slow-mo. It happened as quick for Miller as it did for you there. Moving on later, a great save on the other end by the Northeastern keeper. The game would go to overtime. Etienne Bollinger with a shot, and it is no good. Final score, UNCW 1, Northeastern 1.
To close things out, I have a joy and a sorrow to report. They say good news first, so congratulations to back-to-back winners of the AL pennant. That's right, the Texas Rangers' Nelson Cruz set a championship series record with 6 home runs and 13 RBI against the Detroit Tigers. They face off against the St. Louis Cardinals in the World Series throughout the next 2 weeks. And in a sad note for all the sports world, 2-time Indianapolis 500 champion Dan Weldon passed away in a horrific crash in the IndyCar finale at Las Vegas Speedway on Sunday. Our thoughts and prayers go out to his wife and 2 children, ages 2 and 7 months. As any fan of racing knows, death is the ultimate risk you run out on the track, but nothing can replace a human life. Dan Weldon was 33. Sarah, back to you.
UNCW has just been named one of 26 bicycle-friendly universities in the nation. This recognition comes from the League of American Bicyclists. The only other school in North Carolina to receive this designation was UNC Greensboro. The honor was announced just as Wilmington opened the Cross City Trail last Friday, October 14th. The trail travels throughout Wilmington, including extending from the downtown area to Wrightsville Beach. Also, UNCW's Eco Teal store has given students the option to buy bicycles and skateboards on campus and have them custom detailed. This, among other factors, was one of the many reasons UNCW received its bicycle-friendly honor.
UNCW kicks off Breast Cancer Awareness Month with the Passionately Pink Zip for the Cure. This fundraising event, hosted by Pi Sigma Epsilon and UNCW Seahawk Adventures, allows participants to complete the UNCW High Ropes course for a good cause. Our reporter Rachel Nagel has the story.
I'm here at the UNCW High Ropes course for the Passionately Pink Zip for a Cure fundraiser, hosted by Pi Sigma Epsilon and UNCW's Seahawk Adventures. Proceeds from the fundraiser will go to benefit the Susan G. Komen Breast Cancer Research Foundation in honor of Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Faculty, students, and the community were encouraged to come out and participate. Among other events, participants will be zipping through the treetops in order to raise money from their sponsors. I'm here with Tori Hammond, who is the Vice President of Community Service for Pi Sigma Epsilon. Tori, can you tell us a little bit more about the sorority?
Sure. It's actually a fraternity. We're co-ed. It's a business fraternity. Most of us are members of Cameron School of Business, but anyone can join, and we put on projects every single year. You probably know Wing Fling. That's a major project we put on, and then this is the first time we're doing this one. So.
Great. And what exactly is your role with putting on this event for the Susan G. Komen Foundation?
We kind of just came up with the idea through their Passionately Pink organization, and it's just that you can do any fundraising event that you want, and you can just make it your own. So we came up with the Zip-a-thon, and then all the proceeds are going to them. So,
I'm Rachel Nagel for Seahawk Central News, Teal TV. Zipping!
Tomorrow night, the Communications Studies Society will hold its 5th annual Rock for the Cure on the 2nd floor of the Real Cafe. The event benefits the New Hanover Regional Medical Center's Pink Ribbon Project, which provides free mammogram screening to uninsured women in the Wilmington area, and also comfort bags for women receiving breast cancer treatments. Items to be auctioned off include several pieces of memorabilia autographed by big-name actors, authors, or musicians, the UNCW men's and women's basketball coaches, and a 2-night stay at the Mayfair Hilton Garden Inn. The schoolboys will provide live music and entertainment, and an opportunity to sing with them will also be part of the auction.
Now it's time to hear what news comes from the big screen. Here's Chris Vickery with Critics on Campus.
Thanks, Janae. Welcome everyone to Critics on Campus, where we review the latest movies in the Wilmington area. I'm your host, Chris Vickery, alongside my co-host for the day, Seth Wigley. This week, we did 2 movies, as always, The Ides of March and Killer Elite, 2 very different movies. And the first one we're going to do is Killer Elite, which is an action thriller set in the 80s with Jason Statham, Clive Owen, and Robert De Niro. Yeah. And it's kind of highlighting some dirty spec ops work in the oil crisis in the Middle East of some Great Britain espionage kind of stuff going on. Yeah. Apparently it's based on a true story. I don't know if that really makes the movie that much better. What were your thoughts on this one?
Well, they said it was based on a true story, but there was a lot of controversy about that because they said it wasn't accurately portrayed.
But I mean, it was your typical Clive Owen type film, you know, where you got all the action and people blowing up stuff, that typical thing. But I really didn't see any depth in the characters except from Robert De Niro, you know, typical mafia type guy. But other than that, the character was kind of flat for me.
Yeah, I really think that it's a movie that we've all seen before. Jason Statham reprises his normal role as the guy that runs around and kicks teeth in for an entire movie. Robert De Niro plays basically the same role he played in a lot of movies, but Jackie Brown by Quentin Tarantino, namely. And Clive Owen is a disgruntled spy, basically. And, you know, not to spoil too much, but there are two other auxiliary characters that wind up dying in the middle of the film that are in the movie for a large part, but in the end are pretty inconsequential. They're just there to be fodder for all the fallout. Overall, cool action sequences, I thought.
Yeah. Because, I mean, the story didn't have much to it, but the action sequence is why you go see the movie.
Right. And there was some cool choreography, some cool settings. Other than that, the story's been done before. And the fact that it was a true story is, I don't know, up for speculation, a little bit controversial, and really doesn't do much for the movie itself. Out of 5 stars, what would you give this one?
I'd give it about a 2.
I think I'd give it about a 2 as well.
Yeah.
But the next movie that we saw was The Ides of March, starring George Clooney, Ryan Gosling, and Philip Seymour Hoffman.
Right.
I was really impressed with this one. It's a political drama about Governor Mike Morris, a Democratic candidate for the presidential election, and this one really blew me away.
Yeah, I definitely got a lot more out of this movie because it's told from a different perspective from most political movies. And this time it told the protagonist was, you know, the guy who's the campaign manager instead of the actual candidate. You know, the candidate who was played by Clooney, he was your typical, you know, he puts on this fake persona for the American public, you know, like he's going to solve everything, he has all the answers, when really it shows you behind the scenes, you know, he's not really, that's not his true intentions.
And it goes pretty deep into a lot of the culture behind campaign policy and a lot of that you don't normally get to see, especially not in a movie.
Really.
And focused on the campaign manager, like you said, and really brought about a lot of interesting ethical issues of these are the guys that kind of construct that facade.
Right.
They're the ones that construct that curtain that that these candidates hide behind. And what happens when these campaign managers try and go around and reveal
Well, I think what struck me most is, you know, they preach loyalty, but the thing is, they'll put themselves before everybody else. They'll backstab their best friends in the back. I mean, it's crazy to believe that one minute, you know, you've been thinking you trust this guy, you know, for so many years. You've worked with him. Next minute, he fires you, stabs you in the back, sets you up, so he can get higher in the political stand.
And I think it rings really true, especially in this political climate where a lot of people are disgruntled. It really resonates with kind of a generation of people that feel really detached from politics. Again, really impressed with the performances here. Really impressed with the story overall. What would you give this one out of 5 stars?
I definitely give it a 4.
I'm going to have to agree with you on that one. 4 stars. Didn't have the full 5 wow factor, but a very solid movie overall.
See, I would have given it a 5. It had a little bit of a slow start, but other than that, everything else was very refined.
Was very good.
Yeah.
Once again, that's it for this week. As always, brought to you by Carmike Cinemas. Stay tuned for more reviews of the latest movies coming to the big screen. Once again, I'm your host, Chris Vickery, alongside Seth Wigley. See you next time.
Well, Seahawks, that's all for this episode of Seahawks Central News. And remember, you can keep up with Seahawks Central News 24/7 by stopping by youtube.com/tealtv2010. Be sure to check out the latest edition of the Seahawk and Atlantis at newsstands all over campus.
Special thanks to the Communications Studies Department and UNCW TV for making our show a reality. I'm Janae Randall.
And I'm Sarah Lively saying, so long, Seahawks. Fist bump.